Happy GAQA Tuesday! I'm so excited to be bringing you episode 2 of GAQA Tuesday. Now, for all of our new members, because we're getting like a bajillion, thousand, trillion every day, and I love it, GAQA Tuesday is one of my 4 weekly videos that I bring to the Ghost Adventures Fans and Paranormal fan page every single week. And on Tuesdays, I answer all of your Ghost Adventures related questions, whether it be about the show, be about the guys, be about the location, whatever you want me to answer about Ghost Adventures, I will do it on Tuesdays. Not to be confused with what should I do Wednesdays when I answer all of your general paranormal related questions. What goes bumps in the night? What can I do? I need help. Blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, you have to bear with me because typically I post these videos at like 6 o'clock, 7-ish on a Tuesday. However, I got me a new MacBook, and with the new MacBook came iMovie software, like the full version. I've been doing a little bit of it on my phone, but now I've got the whole thing to play with, and I want to make my very first full-length iMovie so incredibly awesome and perfect and special that it may not be like posted till Wednesday morning, but at least you know that it was done all night long with lots of love and lots of vodka. But it got done. That's the point, right? Right. So we're going to get right into answering all of your questions that you submitted to me on Facebook, and then I'm going to work my little tail off to edit it for you to make it absolutely perfect. So shall we get started? We shall. Okay, thanks. Bye. Our very first question is from our very own Walter Roswell. Of course, he's usually probably going to be like number 1 or 2 on the list because we both know that him and Terry are like level 5 stalkers. I know. Hashtag famous problems. So we're going to get right into his question, which was, during the early seasons of the show, they used to show Aaron taping the little X's on the floor to mark their X cams. And they made like this huge deal about it. Aaron, place an X there. Boom. Aaron, place an X there. Boom. Aaron, place an X here. Boom. And they had like sound music and footsteps. It was craziness. They don't do it anymore. And when did they stop? And if you know, why? Well, I don't know why. I have an opinion, but I don't know for sure. And as far as I could tell, they stopped probably around like season 5. That was the longest like I got before I had to stop researching because I ran out of time. Not gonna lie. But I know that they did it through season 4, and then after that it kind of like was kind of hit and miss. So I don't know for sure when they stopped, but it was probably around season 4 or 5-ish, maybe 6. And let's face it, I don't pay attention to the X's when I'm watching Ghost Adventures. I pay attention to Zach and Aaron and the spirits. I don't worry about electrical tape. Okay, thanks. But my reasoning, or at least my opinion on why they maybe stopped, is because it was so time consuming. Like, it would take Aaron, place an X there, Aaron, place an X there, Aaron, place an X here. And when they could have just been like doing other things that were like a little bit more productive with their time, or they have a lot of interviews and maybe they had to cut those short, or, you know, we don't know. I'm not on the crew. I wish I was, but I'm not. And when it came to lockdown time, they had to like review their X's and where they were going to go and kind of map out a game plan. And now they can just kind of go. They can just kind of like go into a location and do what they got to do and get the evidence they're going to get. And they don't have to worry about where there's like an X cam. They still place their static night vision cameras. We see that. And that's usually what was on the X's, but they don't like lay the tape down anymore. Maybe there was an inflation on tape. Who knows? Like maybe electrical tape went from like $40 a roll, you know, like a massive one like that, to like $300. And they're like, nobody got time for that. We're not spending that kind of money on tape. They know what a camera looks like. It's on a big tripod. You can't miss it. I don't know. Like, so it was either tape inflation, like everything else in this godforsaken government, or they just wanted to utilize their time better, and so they stopped. I personally don't care about the X's. Like I said, I watch it for the guys and for the evidence. Electrical tape X's are the last thing I care about. But it was a really good question, and it's something that we don't really think about. And it made us think about it, and it made me do research, so therefore, I thank you, sir. Moving on. Our next question is from Shelly. And who, what, when, where, how, why, what? Where is the new episode taking place? You like that blooper reel? The new episode, sadly, is not this week. Like, once again, the Travel Channel is saying Loftus Hall is a new episode. For all of those who've seen the Halloween special, we know that Loftus Hall is not new. It's, again, like a continuation of last week, blah, 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 blah. We know it's not new. The new episode of Ghost Adventures is going to be on February 21st, and they are returning to Tombstone, and we know that that's going to be a fantastic episode. I am super, super excited because, once again, chances are I get to see Zach like all cowboyed up, and that's completely fine with me. He can, no, never mind. We're not going there. We keep this clean. This is a family show. But we're still not going there. I know that was like the biggest lie I've ever told in my life, but we're still not going there. But we do know that it's going to be a fantastical episode, and they are returning to Tombstone on February the 21st. And that will actually be the return of my GA Recap Monday. And I'm really, really excited about that. But we'll get more into that at the end of the episode. So they are returning to Tombstone on February 21st, Shelly. Great question. Thank you. Moving on. Whew. What is your least favorite lockdown and why? And that is from April. And if I butcher your last name, I am so sorry in advance. But it is from April Nidzgorski. Did I nail it or fail it? You let me know in the comments, okay? Her question was, what was your least favorite lockdown and why? Man, I really don't have like a least favorite lockdown. I think I've really enjoyed all of them for one reason or another. If I had to pick a least favorite lockdown based like on a scare factor, it would for sure have to be Island of the Dolls. That creepy ass island. No, thank you, ma'am. I do not do dolls. I do not do islands. I mean, I do like if there's like a beach involved and like a Mai Tai and like martinis and vodka and Zach shirtless. But I don't do creepy doll islands where there's like dolls hanging from trees and they're staring at you and they're swinging at you and they laugh randomly. No, thank you. So if I had to pick like a least favorite lockdown, like based on a scare factor, hands down that show. However, I really can't pick like a lockdown that I just didn't like. Like I just looked at the episode and went, oh, I'm just going to fast forward through that and DVR that and move that, and not one that didn't like capture my interest. Obviously there are some that are more scary and intense than others, but as far as like a bad lockdown or my least favorite lockdown, really I don't have one. I'm kind of obsessed. But thank you for your question. It was a really good one. And based on the scare factor, hands down, Island of the Dolls. Our next question is from Holly Ann Murray. Hi, Holly. And her question is, how many days did they say to lockdown? That's a good question. And I think based on, like, if you troll Twitter, if you troll their Facebook pages, you can kind of see their travel plans. They're pretty open about it. They're leaving Seattle. They're going to Seattle. They're going here. They're going there. They're on a plane. They're here. They're there. They're at home. They're here. They're here. I think it's usually on average, like, maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 at the most. But that doesn't mean necessarily that they're on lockdown like that long. But at a location, probably 3 or 4 days to get set up, conduct interviews, make sure everything's in place, do lockdown, go home. I know that it's typically whirlwind trips because they always talk about how exhausted they are, and frankly, when they post pictures, you can see it in their faces. They got lockdown hangover bad, and they are exhausted. So I would say anywhere from like 2 to 3 days, depending, or maybe even up to 4 or 5, depending on the location, depending on what they need to do, and depending on how long it takes them to get everything they want to get for the show. So we'll say a good solid 2 to 5 days is my guess. But that was a really good question. I never really thought about that. It's like, how long are they there? Like, we see them just kind of on the show. And we're like, oh, yeah. We don't really see all that behind the scenes stuff. And so that was a really good question. Thanks, Holly. Our next question is, who is your favorite guest and why? And that was from Heather Neal Barno. Hi, Heather. Hands down, it had to have been UFC fighter Brendan Schaub. I love him. I think he's gorgeous. And he is a badass, and he could kick anybody's butt. And let's face it, fit boy, tight shorts, I'm there all day long. I will be in his octagon in TJ. Okay, thanks, bye. But that was just a really great episode because here he comes in, he's all pumped up, he's all excited to get evidence, and he's all excited to do this, and then they go into that creepy ass basement, and they start busting out the SB7 spirit box. They're getting all these answers about like the girl who was supposedly like raped and murdered in the basement. Remember that? Okay. And they are like getting intelligent responses, and then they're like, give us a name of somebody down here. And this female voice, plain as day, comes through that spirit box and is like, Brendan, are you kidding me? And he was like, I'm out. Like, forget this. I fight human beings, not ghosts, right? Okay, thanks. Bye. So, but it was a really great episode. It was a little more eye candy because we got Zach and Brendan to stare at. And so, hands down, had to be when UFC fighter Brendan Schaub was on Ghost Adventures. Favorite guest moment. Hashtag yay. Our final question is from Trina. Hi, Trina. And it is, why does Zach have a fear of dolls? They're creepy as hell. Like, there is nothing cute about a doll, in my opinion. Like, it's just, they're creepy. They're weird. They're creepy. Did I mention they're creepy? Like, no. I have no shame in admitting I hate them. I think they're awful. I do not like them. My kids love them. My kids have American Girl dolls and Cabbage Patch dolls and Barbie dolls and these new Equestria Girl dolls, like these My Little Pony. No. Those freaking things are creepy on a whole different level of creepy. But as far as like dolls go, he's afraid of them because they're creepy. That's got to be what it is. Like, you know, he's even said it when he was on the Island of the Dolls episode. He's like, why am I afraid of them? They're a doll. But there's just something about them. And he's right. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something about them. They look like they're staring back at you, and you cannot shake that feeling that you're being watched. Even though it's like by a freaking piece of plastic, it's still creepy as... And we all know that dolls can do some creepy things. I.e. Harold the doll. Come on now. Really? That doll's been known to, like, kill people. And you expect me to like those things? Hashtag no thanks. So that would be my guess as to why he doesn't like dolls, is just because they're creepy as hell and they're not to be liked. Right? Maybe? I don't know. So that's all the questions I have for you guys this week. And they were really, really good ones. And I always get really excited because I always think, well, what is going to be the question of the day? Or, you know, what's going to be the question of the week? And I get blown away every week. Last week I had to do all my homework because Walter wanted to know like everything about the guy since the day they walked, you know, God's green earth. But it was fun and I had a blast doing it and you had a blast watching it. So that's why I keep doing it. So I'm going to wrap up today's GAQA Tuesday and get ready for What Should I Do Wednesday. And I have a lot of great questions for that video as well. And yes, I know I'm still in the corner. I'm working on getting out of the corner. I'm working on moving my little production out to the garage so I can actually sit and you can like see me and I can move around and dance because I'm going to have my phone not like propped up on the wall like I do now. I'm actually going to have it like on a tripod and you're actually going to be able to like see me. And it's going to look like a little desk and it's going to be so cute and fun and I just can't wait. But for now, I'm still in the corner because none of that is here yet and none of it's ready. I've made one step in getting my MacBook and now I'm just kind of like building it up. But let's face it, none of this is free and it's a lot of fun for me to do. So I just make the best of what I have, and as long as I get to do my videos for you guys every day, then I don't really care in what form or shape they look like. I mean, I may not have the best background and I may not have the best stuff, but I do them because I know they make you happy, and so I'm going to continue to do them. And so I'm going to get ready for What Should I Do Wednesday for tomorrow and for our very first Flashback Friday. I'm so excited. We are going to be going back to Bobby Mackey's Music World. Ugh, I know, right? But that means I have to rewatch that Crazy Train. But I'm gonna rewatch the episode and then I'm gonna do kind of a recap-ish with a twist. Make sense? It will, don't worry. I'm gonna kind of pick out my favorite moments of the episode, my favorite scariest moments, some evidence choices. There's going to be pop-ups and pictures and whatever. It's going to be fantastic. I don't want to give too much away. I want to kind of leave you guys hanging. It's going to be a recap with a twist. That's all I'm going to say. And so you're going to have to wait till Friday. I did give you guys a little preview of what was coming last Friday. And so if you haven't seen that trailer is on my YouTube channel and you can check it out. Thank you guys so much once again for all the support that you give me every single minute of every single day. I wouldn't do this if I didn't have your support. You guys are liking my videos and subscribing to them and sharing them and tweeting them, and I'm just overwhelmed with love and joy. And so I'm going to give you a big shout out and a thank you. As always, I'm going to include their link to the Ghost Adventures Fans and Paranormal Group webpage in the bottom below. I'm going to put it up here somewhere or on the page yet. I don't know. We'll figure that all out in editing. And I will see you guys tomorrow for What Should I Do Wednesday and on Friday for GA Flashback Friday. And I'm sure you'll see me throughout the week anyway. You never know when I'm going to pop up. Hell, yesterday I was dancing on Facebook. So you never know when I'm going to just pop up. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday and a wonderful rest of the week. And I will see you guys tomorrow.